Wish you could just move them into the waiting room.
I agree. I wish that was a thing as well. Oh my god, I'm so excited. I love getting into the finals.
Here we go. So we got the tempo list already opening up with... Tricky to say. I want to say a good opener, but these Skyclave apparitions are going to be a little clunky, especially with double blue in the opener. I don't know if this is a hand I'd keep. I definitely would have opened with... I think I just would have played that Jory Disruption tapped.
Oh yeah?
Just to get that on the board. I think so. You're not spell piercing in Night Witch. Oh, that second white land is really nice. And now you have access to Jory Disruption. So let's see. Yeah, I think this is just one of those matchups where Esper, if everything kind of lines up, they're going to be in a really good position to start sacking their creatures and kind of respond to stuff like Skyclave Apparition. And I really like just getting rid of this Hermit here. So I understand why the Jory Disruption was held. But at the same time, I don't know if I just don't know if I would have... I don't know. Like, the Hermit resolving isn't the end of the world. I do like Skyclave on this side twitch here instead of the Brutal Cathar, because Cathar can hit stuff like Edgar, and Skyclave can as well. But Cathar can also just hit tokens and everything else that this apparition may produce by leaving the battlefield. And this next apparition can absolutely hit this announcement. And now we're in this position where if we played the Jory Disruption tapped, we'd be able to flash in the Wandering Emperor next turn.
Right.
So I do like the apparition hitting the wedding announcement. They got a little bit of value in the 1/1. We'll see how this goes. So it looks like another... Oh, well. I wish I could watch both streams at the same time.
I can show you how to next time.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, there's a trick. There is definitely a trick.
Oh, I know how. You have to have a second account.
Yes, you do.
So I like that. I like that Rite of Oblivion. Still hit the land drops. All good there. Slowly chipping away with these 2 damage spells. But having that 4th land and having that Jory Disruption down would have been really nice, so that you can spell pierce that Rite of Oblivion, or be able to flash in the Spectral Adversary after, or just as a tempo play and holding up mana. So missing the land drops, not ideal. Still not the end of the world though. All right, so it looks like we're gonna get rid of this. All right. I like the guys coming in, and there we go. So let's see. I think the move is swing in, and then just flash in the Emperor, and give whatever is whatever this Geist is blocking first strike. Because looking at these lists, I sure don't think the Esper deck is running Spell Pierces. Oh wow,
Where did
no
you
swings.
want me to move him?
The only channel that doesn't have somebody.
Okay, so this Rite of Oblivion is up, and I get it. You hold a Spell Pierce, or you have March's Rolling Mist, so you have potential. Let's see if opponent double spells here. Because you also have Adversary to come down and phase one of your creatures out, if that's the target for this right. So The Azorius Temple Players is in a pretty good spot. And there is potential to just protect both creatures. Okay, so let's see here. So opponent has to pay 3. And I think I like Spell Pierce first. Or you just flash in the adversary and pump. Just getting a bigger body on the board. You can protect your creature. So now the question is, does opponent play another spell? Yeah, so now this Brutal Cathar is going to flip. Unless it doesn't, I don't know how phasing works with Day-Night Cycle. Yeah, so it does flip, and you're exiling the Geist. Swing in, hold up your mana, and that's tempo. So like this is the thing. So you flipped your Brood again. If opponent wants to interact with that, they have to pay 3 life. There's a Spell Pierce and a March's Swirling Mist. So I think both creatures are going to be protected. And yeah, you flash in the Wandering Emperor, make a 2/2, and then you just play your Intrepid Adversary,
Right.
and pump that. And I think this Hive of the Eye Tyrant can only block so much. I would have liked flashing in the Emperor there. I don't know, like the interactions Vanishing Verse? I don't know. You can still commit to the board. No blocks. Interesting.
Thank you very much for all your help today, the Scrubly.
Yeah, of course.
You give me the opportunity to fix all my mistakes, post some stuff on media, keep the interactions going, and reset my computer. This is awesome. I really like the position where the Azorius is. They're ahead on board. They're ahead in cards. It's like we were saying, if they can get underneath and hold you off from doing anything, then you're just in a really fantastic position. So,
yeah, being able to just say, go. I don't really understand this line here that Fuji was taking.
me neither.
If you Hive of the Eye Tyrant and you set up a block, sure, it's gonna get bounced by the or phased out with the March's Swirling Mist, or like the Wandering Emperor comes down or something. But it was just I think you have to protect your life total a little bit more. You're already at 9. Yeah, we're end step here. We're flashing in this Wandering Emperor now, getting the Samurai, and now Hive of the Eye Tyrant, like, it has to block. But here's the thing. Intrepid Adversary comes down, pumps.
It's going to get a first strike, right?
Yeah, so Wandering Emperor is going to put a counter on the Samurai. So unless...
I mean, it's still chump blocking.
Well, what Fuji could have what Acute Snake could have done is cast Intrepid Adversary, and this isn't without perfect information. I think knowing that Fuji only has 1 card in hand, you cast the Intrepid Adversary, and you cast it for white, blue. You still have 1 blue mana. Oh, sorry, white, blue. So pump it once. You have 8 power of creatures on board.
Mm-hmm.
Opponents at 4. They activate their Hive of the Eye Tyrant, and then you just phase one of their creatures out and you get him for lethal before blocks, because you can pitch your Spell Pierce for the mana cost.
Right. That makes sense.
So, yeah, I mean, Snake ended up winning that match anyway. I mean, that game anyway, but I think there was just a cleaner way to end that one out instead of giving your opponent an opportunity to claw back in the game. So watching the sideboarding here for Snake, I really like Spellbinders coming in. I think there's a case for something like Test of Talents, getting rid of some of their big spells like those Deadly Disputes, and we've seen how backbreaking Test of Talents is against a Deadly Dispute.
Mm-hmm.
It's just such a killer. And then it also gets rid of the Vanishing Verses. You're not playing any creatures or any permanents really that are multicolored in this deck.
I agree.
So,
yeah.
yeah, getting rid of a Vanishing Verse and like never having to worry about that threat, or never having to worry about a Rite of Oblivion, and especially if one's already been cast on you, you test a talent's one of those, and all of a sudden it's just it's out of the game.
I really enjoyed watching these type of decks, and this is exactly what I was saying. Where by adding the blue, you're just you have access to something that can be such a game changer, right? Like, and I totally agree with you. If you get a Deadly Dispute, a Vanishing Verge, a Rite of Oblivion out of their hand, like hand and the rest of their deck, like it's it could change the outcome of the whole entire match.
Yeah, you swing tempo with one spell, right? That's all
Yeah.
you need.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of tricky. I think these like this tempo deck is essentially a mono white aggro deck, splashing blue for a flash creature, and it just the blue interaction. And we all know how strong the mono white aggro deck has been.
Yes.
Yeah, so I really like this opener.
On both sides.
I actually think, I think playing the Hengate pathway on blue and having access to Fading Hope for turn one, and then just kind of slowing your opponent down would have been all right. But we'll see how this one plays out. I think these new channel ends are just going to be really nice. Yeah, I think that's a great take. Luminarch Aspirant could do a lot of damage in a matchup like this. And there we go. We got Fading Hope. So we'll see if like something like a Wedding Announcement comes down turn 3. I don't have Fuji's Hand up right now.
Oh God, it's all good.
So if I did have a White Source and Wedding Announcement, and I was a Cute Snake, seeing that come down, Kaido Shizuki's great. That's a free card.
That is a great card.
Yeah, so now if I'm a Cute Snake, like Skyclave Apparition's not going to do anything if I were to find it, and it's a tough little spot. I think Cathar, take the Eye Twitch, kind of just hope for the best right now.
Yep. So from cards that you've seen, I think the Wandering Emperor is definitely going to be a staple in this format for as long as it's
absolutely
around. I really like the way Kaito plays. I feel that it has to be protected, which means it has to be in definitely more of a control shell kind of deck from what I've been watching. I mean, you need, I guess, more of a mid-range because you still need creatures to draw your cards.
Yeah, you want to be swinging. I mean, what's really nice about Kaito is it's a 3-mana Planeswalker.
Yeah.
3-mana Planeswalkers historically have been quite good. The lower the mana, just the more impactful they are. It's a permanent that just continues to interact. Like a card like Kaito, I think it's just very good because the turn it comes down, it protects itself no matter what. By phasing out, so it can't be interacted with unless there's instant speed interaction before it does fade out. Sorry, phase out. I saw Fading Hope, so yeah, I think this is a pretty tricky spot for the Azorius player. Obviously, you don't want to block the Shambling Ghast. That means Kaido's just going to draw you a free card. We'll see what comes down. Yeah, like the Planeswalkers, even from the previous set, like I would like to see Arlen see a little bit more play. And actually, that was one of the cards I wanted to talk about earlier. I think Bard class could have a lot of potential. And so we'll see if something like a Bard class deck could be pretty good and unlock cards like Arlen. And we've already seen Halana and Alina be very good. And we could see them be even better with cards like Bard class, like a 2-mana Halana and Alina plus a 2-mana, like a free Targnar or something. When you're just playing legendary creatures with Bard class, can get out of control really quickly.
Yeah. Goat is having problems. He didn't see his, doesn't have his sideboard. So I responded to him sweet and salty, but he may need your guidance. I'm not sure.
You're not sure. I don't know how to fix that.
Well, you just make sure that they restart and go from that point.
Oh.
But if his opponent says anything, I need you there to answer.
Okay.
It just means
Alright,
they
so
chose the wrong matchup.
Yeah, I mean, we've all seen arena bugs.
Yeah, because they wouldn't have been able to play if they chose the wrong matchup.
No, like
They both chose best of one. I think that's weird.
yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, sometimes it just bugs and you don't get
Yeah.
access to your sideboard, which it's happened to me before.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's only missing part of his sideboard. Not the wrong matchup.
Oh,
It's
weird.
yeah, it's arena. Because that's the second person it's happened to today.
So what is this Switch going to find? I can imagine it's going to be a mascot exhibition.
Well, he has the mana
Ooh.
for it.
So Necrotic Fumes is good. You can get rid of this Brutal Cathar. This life-linking Intrepid Adversary actually isn't that big of a problem right now. So we'll see. I think I like Kaido just... Well, I'm going to switch over to Fuji, because we know this Atwara in hand.
Oh, that was a really good play.
Ooh, that Massacre is really nice too.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's another Eye Twitch. Kaito can just make a ninja. Yeah, I really like this. Bunch of big creatures. Yeah, cute Snake's in a tough spot right now. Even if they commit to the board. Yeah.
Changes so quickly, man.
Crazy, right?
I know.
This format's just wild. Nice and diverse. Lots of good stuff going on. It looks like we've seen the first results in our top 8, and Is It Treasures took down Abzan midrange 2-0. So this Is It Treasures list is another one of those Hanada lists. And very tough for a deck like Abzan that's very much permanent interaction based to deal with decks like that. All right. So I'm gonna switch back to Cute Snake.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing as they're gonna be on the draw, on the play. Sorry.
I think he responded sweet and salty. That was a keep. That was a quick keep.
Oh, that is a snap keep.
Yeah.
Couple Adelines, you're on the play. You want to be aggressive and just try to punch through as much damage as possible.
Yeah.
It's honestly tough against these black-white base decks.
Yeah, being low and aggressive, for sure. They have all the right spells to keep you off balance.
So many chumps.
Yeah.
But here's the problem. Fuji's mulled to 5.
Dear
We
God.
really have to hope. They find a keepable 5. Like, Eye Twitch, Deadly Dispute, and you're still in this game. Let's see, I just want to see what they're looking at. Well, there's an Eye Twitch and a Rite of Oblivion, so I think I'd get rid of the Wandering Emperor in one of those lands.
Yep. Well, there goes the Wandering Emperor. I agree that card you can't keep in your hand with if he's deciding not to mull again.
Yeah, I think it's just get rid of a land. I mean, if you mull to 5, you can just never keep a 4-mana spell. It's never a good idea. You want to keep your stuff low to the ground. But at the same time, like, Wedding Announcement is such a good Magic card that you do want to keep that. So let's see. Yeah, I think that's correct. So you still have black-white mana. And then if you top deck another land, you still have access to your blue source as well. So we'll see.
It's so tough, right? Like, you want to have all the right plays and you want to have all the right cards in your hand. If you're going to mull, you want to make sure you keep your best options open to you so you don't fall too far behind. And look at that, he got his third line.
Yeah. Yeah, our Esper player is just going to curve out here, and funnily enough, like, a Fading Hope isn't that bad for Snake, but they kept a bit of a slower hand. Like, you want to punch through that damage, and like, wow, Adeline's going to come down. I could see Elite Spellbinder being the next play.
Yep.
Fading Hope is a good call there. Don't need the lands. Eventually, a 3-mana creature is going to resolve. It just depends on what state the game is in. And I think if you're Fuji, you just recast your iTwitch and see what happens.
So I was just gonna ask, do you cast Spellbinder over?
You do because you want the information.
Right. I don't know what you're
Now
playing
that you
against.
see that opponent has 2 removal spells, I think you just get rid of the Vanishing Verse. Interesting. So you're fine with your creatures dying. But if you're a cute snake and you don't find your 4th land now, you're kind of in a weird spot because your creatures just aren't going to stay on this board. iTwitch can find it in Envirosciences, so keep finding lands.
Right. That was a weird play.
Yeah, a bit of a tricky spot. Like, I don't know. At the same time, you know your opponent's at 3 lands. You don't want them to resolve that wedding announcement and start building on the board. But Adeline can jump those creatures all day long. And I think I like this play here first. Get rid of this PVDDR. Wow, another iTwitch. Okay, so there's the land, so that's great. And I think it's Adeline Usher. I think that's the play. Because then you're forcing out either the Rite of Oblivion or Envirosciences Vanishing Verse. And what opponent doesn't know is that there's another Adeline in hand. So if there was a land off the top, I truly see, yeah, okay, so I like this line. Find your blue. Oh, it was another land. Okay, so Vanishing Verse the Adeline. I can see iTwitch swinging here. All right. So Adeline's just going to get through. Make a 1/1 tapped and attacking. This iTwitch is not going to block.
Oh my god, it's a blocking.
I'm so surprised.
Me too.
So now if Fuji doesn't top deck a permanent, this Rite of Oblivion is dead. Obviously, they can cast the wedding announcement next turn. But now this Adeline's just gaining more value. It's going to swing with another creature. Meathook Massacre's kind of like the best option here. I like the Pest Summoning Find. So let's see. Unless another iTwitch was off the top, which would just be crazy. Yeah, so I like Pest Summoning.
So do I. It's a chump blocker and it can trade with the 1/1s.
Yeah, it just does exactly what it needs to do. I don't see either of these pests blocking. Like maybe one blocking the Adeline to protect the life total a little bit, but that's fine.
Do you flash in the Wanderer here?
Wow. No. I think you do it like if you flash in the Wanderer here, I still think Rite of Oblivion is going to take the Adeline.
Mm-hmm.
But it does give your opponent another permanent to get rid of if they drew like a Vanishing Verse or something off this Deadly Dispute.
Looks like 2 Shambling Gas and a land.
Well, Shambling Gas can come down. You can sack the gas, pick off a 1/1.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what opponent doesn't know is that there's this Wandering Emperor, so if it tries to pick off a 1/1, you can put a +1/+1 counter on one of them.
Yeah, and it looks like, from the looks of it, it looks like that's what he's doing.
Yeah, so I would flash in the Wandering Emperor. Oh, okay.
He's letting
So
all
maybe-
of this resolve.
I mean, maybe you just want to wait to see if this pest comes in and swings, but I don't see that pest coming in and swinging.
Right.
Yeah, let's see.
Right.
I mean, maybe it does because this gas would, yeah, okay. I mean, the pest swings because this gas essentially trades with both these 1/1s. But unfortunately,
Ugh, another land.
you know what? I think that's okay. Wedding Announcement's going to come down, and that's going to accrue some value. But yeah, I think you just grow this 1/1 and swing with the board.
I like
get some
swinging with
blocks.
the board here. You definitely want to start putting pressure on your opponent, and you want to start chipping away at their life total. We all know how sway these matches are, so it's kind of like the more damage you can do, the better it is.
Absolutely. Well, we're on top decks now.
Yeah.
Wedding announcement coming down. This Otawara is actually huge. Once this board grows a little bit more, it's just going to be better and better. And I think we just make a samurai here.
I like how the samurais can attack and block.
Oh, yeah. And they come down at instant speed sometimes. Like, it's just... This Wandering Emperor is a great, great magic card.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's gonna start opening the door to close this game out with the Spectral Adversary, that's for sure.
Agreed.
So let's see. I imagine we get 2 blocks.
You
Or a
double
block on one of those 2/2s. I was thinking maybe you double block one of the 2/2 Vigilant creatures.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I mean, this adversary is going to come down, phase out the board, and just end the game. Yeah, that announcement's not going to do anything. Flashing that adversary. You can phase 2 creatures out on the ground, and then you can bounce another one with Otawara. Yeah. And like, even if this adversary gets removed, you're swinging in for lethal guaranteed. So let's see how this one plays out. But so you make the creatures. Wow, that portable hole off the top is actually crazy. Gets rid of another 1/1. There's no interaction. Otawara can bounce another creature. You make that bigger. Yeah, so no matter what, you're getting in for lethal.
It's so interesting to see their lines of plays, eh?
Oh yeah. I think that I always just have kill my opponent on the radar.
So Acute moves on to the semifinals, which is incredible. Good win for him.
There we go. Undefeated and remains undefeated.
Wow.
Yeah. The beauty is the top 8, everyone should be just in channels.
2A and 2B. Table 2A and 2B are still playing.
Two A and 2B. And then it's always nice to catch other matches.
So I'm going to go... Do you want to go hop into 2B? I'd like to see how this Jeskai list is performing against the Izzet deck. Or we're going to... Oh, 2A? Okay.
He should be in both.
Wait. Oh, table 2A.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, so it looks like Mono Green versus Selesnya.
Oh, nice. This Selesnya deck. Ooh, that 8/8 portrait of Michiko is pretty scary. But there's also this 6/7. What is this reach creature? Spider? Hey, a bunch of little death touch creatures on the ground do make a difference too.
I like the holographic fish pet. It's new.
Yes, it is new.
Oh, 2 1-mana ranger classes. Insane. Just make more 2/2s. Yeah, the Selesnya deck goes very tall. Another Weaver of Harmony. Just pump those enchantment creatures even more. All at the low, low price of 1 mana. Make 2 more 2/2s. It's wild. Pump your creatures even more. So now what you can do with this enchantments deck, so you can play your Weaver of Harmony in 2 ways. You can swing with one of your creatures, or all of your creatures, choose where you put your counters, and then double the trigger so you get double the counters. But you can also just start firing cards off the top. Like this Generous Visitor. And eventually you're just going to overwhelm your opponent. You can start attacking it a little bit. And you can double the triggers, so no matter... Well, that 6-7 is still a little menacing right now. But I don't see where... Like, I don't see why you wouldn't just block with the 6-7.
Right.
So the mono green deck's doing a good job of just kind of holding off and stalling. We'll see if they can find a way to get through and get rid of some of these bodies on the ground. This is just kind of one of those matches where eventually you'll swarm the board, have too many creatures on the board, and just get rid of those Death Touch creatures and kind of call it a day. Well, there we go. Tendrils is good. There's definitely not going to be any swings. Interesting. You just have so many good blocks. You can triple block the Mammoth. See, I would let that 5 get through. And I would triple block the Mammoth. Just get it off the board completely. That works as well.
And you aren't kidding with so many good blocks, eh? It's like you're just
Yeah.
trying to figure out which one you want to do.
So we
Still
still
isn't
have
it?
one Weaver of Harmony on the board. Oh wow, this Kodama is going to come down. Going to start having modified creatures. This one mana creature off the top to draw a card and into another one. Oh my god. This Naturalist is going to grow. Gains Trample because it's modified.
This is one of the
Thank you,
decks we were
Kodama.
talking about that is a new archetype just because of Kamigara.
Yep. See, at this point, I think I would have just dropped both Spirited Companions, got a couple more counters on the board, and just next turn it's just over.
Right.
So we'll see. Kodama is just a great add to this list, and I mean we can see the Circle of Confinement on top of enough Nets deck. That's going to pick off that 6-7, and I think that's just going to close out the match. There's going to be a bunch of modified creatures. It's going to cost 1. These companions are going to cost 1. Hey, Chariot's a nice little way to stall. Unfortunately, it looks like Godhulu's either finding spells or anything non-creature off the top of their deck. So we can see that Ranger class is already at max. But what Kodama is going to do is, and I want to just make sure that I know the card correctly. You put counters on all your creatures, they gain trample because they're modified, and then you search your library whenever they deal combat damage to a player. Yeah, and you put a basic land. So that's thinning your deck, you're finding more enchantments. Pretty nutty.
This might be a stupid question, but does mutate work with the modified?
Mutate would modify a creature, yeah. I mean, there's no...
Yes.
Unfortunately for me, there's no mutate in this standard format, but...
Well, isn't one
Yeah,
of these
it
decks called
does.
mutate?
I think it's just a miss.
Oh,
A miss.
oh, mutate's
yeah,
gone?
sometimes you
Yeah.
can just funny names, yeah.
Mutate is gone. But like in historic or pioneer or any older format, I believe you are correct, sweet and salty, that
But making the two animals, it's not an equipment though. Or a count. Well, sometimes it's counter, but it's not a counter.
Yeah, I don't know if that would be considered as modified. I couldn't tell you.
Not relevant,
This is
so I
nuts, though.
apologize.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
Maybe the chat can
I-
tell us 10 minutes later.
Yeah.
What I was gonna say is there's that tricky little play. When Circle of Confinement came down, it exiled 2 creatures because you copied the trigger on it, and I think that's how it works. I don't know if I missed it or not, but
Man,
like,
this
deck
board
is
is...
just popping off.
Oh my god. It's insane.
Yeah, drawing so many cards just really asserting dominance on the board, going extremely wide. Yeah, I think you just swing it with everything.
Like,
except
how do
the
you
Kodama,
not?
Right? You're giving everything. Everything is getting trampled because it does counters on it because of the Kodama.
Don't need any
And-
info from these people, right? Because they had to submit it all already.
That was a very good. Yeah, I'll get it later from them, babe. But
It's just email.
yeah, I did set up a new sheet. So that was very good to see. Selesnya took down that matchup.